Hey everyone, David here from multitool.org. Today I thought I would do something a little different. At first I was going to do a top 10 Vosteed knives or something like that. But I think there's an awful lot of people out there who have never heard of Vosteed, have never seen their knives other than a couple videos here and there, or maybe completely new to them altogether. So I wanted to grab just about everything I have Vosteed wise to kind of give you an idea as to their offering. And I still do have some missing here that I have that I can't seem to locate. They're probably in with the rest of the stuff and all mixed up, and I can't seem to find it. So I'm just going to kind of go over some models. We'll talk shop, that kind of thing. Guess let's start off with the Acorn. Got the Acorn Mini. Acorn and the Mini both have a 14C 28N steel blade. Both are open via a thumb hole or I can't do that, can I? It's always when you try and look at your thumb through the camera that doesn't seem to work. But yeah, front flipper. Works on both the regular one and the small one. Small one's a more compact version. It's that hole through the camera thing again. Or front flipper. I like them. They're pretty compact little knives. I thought the Acorn, the first one, was already pretty tiny. The Mini is even more so. But it's cute. Cute little knife that both of them have a forward finger choil, so you can choke up with a full grip, even on the Mini, which is a neat little feature. We have here the Thornton. The Thornton was a collaboration with the guy from Wayne's Sharp World on Instagram. He has a grandpa, who was in the armed forces, and inspiration for this design is from a 737, I believe. So it's a button lock, also a front flipper. Not my cup of tea. I don't like it, but it's not bad. I got a dirty blade too. So there's the Thornton. The Parallel, Vosteed's thinnest knife that they've ever created. It is pretty thin. Titanium frame, crossbar lock, 14C 20N steel blade, wire clip. 154 cm one. That's not 14C. Really nice, even though it's thin. It doesn't hurt your hand at all. It's well rounded and chamfered all around, so nice and comfortable. Of course, that crossbar lock's easy to disengage one hand. I've got a bunch of different raccoons, but the most recent raccoon I have is the button lock version, or should I say the top liner lock. Raccoon by far is Vosteed's most popular model. Excellent slicer, well executed blade shape, good for a variety of things. They'll come in anything from G10 to aluminum to micarta, which is what this one is. I've got a standard button lock, and I have a crossbar lock version of this. Latest one is a top liner lock. And you'll see this in a few of these knives. The top liner lock is like your typical liner, but it's on the top of the frame instead of the bottom, and it's activated by a button. Basically pushes the liner out of the way. Really neat knife. Super comfortable, easy to use. Where do we go from here? I guess because we talked about the Raccoon, let's talk about the Raccoon Mini. Same thing as the Raccoon, same dimensions, just smaller, scaled down. Like with the Acorn Mini, they made it so there's a forward finger choil so you can choke up. A little too small for me, but still cool. The Mini PSYOP. I didn't get an opportunity to check out the regular size PSYOPs. So this is the Mini. Features a blade steel. I want to say it's LMAX. micarta handle, crossbar lock. It's a little small. You'll see it's a little small, but it's not too bad. Um, it's an excellent knife. Got a nice tip for initiating your cut. Good belly for all different kinds of slicing activities. For like if you want to chop some vegetables or something. Not really designed for that, but you know, it shows the multifunctional use of this knife. Neat little knife. A knife that didn't get off the ground very good was a collaboration with his name is leaving me. I'm trying here. RS something, and it's left me. Anyways, he did a design called the Morel, named after the mushroom. Aluminum liners, but I don't forget what steel blade that was. N690, which is like 440C, give or take. It didn't take off because there were some design issues with it. It's very hard to access the thumb hole. I mean, it can be done, or you can swing it out with just the crossbar lock. But it was unique and different for Vosteed because it had a compound grind, which is pretty cool. But it fell out of popularity and stopped being produced almost immediately due to that strange lack of a, like this should be scooped out more to allow access to the thumb hole a little bit better. My favorite knife of all from Vosteed would be the Inkilo. I've got a blue one. This is my prototype one I've got. It was the first knife to use the Vanker lock. Vanker lock is similar to other pivot mounted button locks, but this one's a heck of a lot tougher. There's some videos out there on the internet that show how the lock works, but it's pretty incredible. But some people thought this is a small knife, but to me this is quite a large knife. Whether I'm using it far back like this or I'm choking up, that's a big knife. That's a fairly large sized blade. It's a good multi-purpose blade, modified sheep's foot I would call it. You can open it via the thumb hole, front flipper, or rear flipper. They still offer this. There's a ton of different coloring options. Let me see. We'll talk about this guy in a little bit as soon as I can. Well, yeah, we'll come to this. We'll come to this one in a minute. This would be there's so many names that's hard to remember all of them. The Teleraris, I believe. Nice modified sheath foot, crossbar lock, micarta handles. You'll start to see a lot of similarity in these knives in terms of blade shape and materials being used. There's, you know, I tend to like micarta an awful lot. I like the way it feels, kind of that denim, like worn jean feel. This one was different with a thumb disc. I wasn't never sure if I'd like a thumb disc, and this one actually performs pretty good. We did him. Let me go for a second to get something. Hang on. Wanted to grab a mini for some visuals. So this is the Corgi. The Corgi is a front and rear flipper with a button lock. Nice clean shape. When it's closed, it has the two little, I don't know what you call these, horns or whatever up top for access, but other than that, it's a very clean design. Pretty popular with Vosteed fans. Once again, this is a micarta version. They introduced a mini version. Same thing, just smaller. This is my daughter's. And just recently they came out with this one, the Corgi V for that Vanker lock. This can be opened up either using the Vanker lock or it could be a front flipper. This one is not like the other ones. This one is an aluminum body to house that lock. But very cool. And it's a little bit smaller than the, here I closed it up. All the Vosteed knives all come in a zipper pouch, in case you're wondering what you're hearing. This is just a hair smaller than the Mini, just a little bit. Let's see. What to talk about? We've got the trying to remember names here. What the heck is the name? The Mink. Excuse me, the Mink. The Mink, and I've also got the XL version. The only difference is the Mink is a sort of a clip point-ish type tip. This is a modified sheep's foot. So everybody really likes the Mink and then wanted a larger version. So Vosteed met the challenge and did a larger size Mink, but put it in a modified sheep's foot blade. So if you're into fixed blades, it might be an option to pick up one of those guys. We'll deviate real quick and we'll do the RS knife or RS. What's his name? RS. I'm not gonna forget his name for nothing. Can't remember his name for nothing. Anyways, this is Vosteed's first top liner lock knife. It was originally called. It had a name and they had to change it because of some issues. But now it's called RS Chaos. But I'm trying to remember what the original name was. But that they had to change it. Anyways, one of the only Vosteed knives I have in a titanium frame lock or button lock, I guess, top liner lock. Another compound grind, which is what the gentleman that designed this, as well as that Morel, he likes compound grinds. Very aggressive looking modified Warncliffe blade, but it's a big knife. Big knife. It even has that room for choke up when I got room left over at the heel. A very, very, very nice knife. Very large knife. Not for everybody. Comes in a nice little padded case for storage. Going from there, trying to think of everything, all things Vosteed. I've got on the table, I've got the premium version of this. I'm trying to find. All right, so they originally came out with the Nightshade, which was a Shinlin cutter. Shinlin is a type of cutter that was popular in mainland China and was like a working man's knife. So Vosteed set out to create a folding version of it. Those who've seen this design remember it from the Spyderco Lum, I believe, is very similar to this. This one's a liner lock. They make a Mini, which I have just sold, that is in crossbar lock, and I have a premium version with a copper bolster, L-Max steel blade versus, I want to say, this one's probably Nitro-V on this one. And I like them. They seem pretty simple, kind of blah, but they're very ergonomical, very easy to use, very comfortable, just a joy to use. The Vosteed Nightshade Premium. Where to go, folks? Where to go? We'll start on this side, I guess. So, just some quick look at things, because some of these you've already seen, like the aluminum version of the Raccoon. Same thing, just aluminum handle and a crossbar lock. This one's all blacked out. We've got one that you don't see anymore. It's been discontinued, at least for now. That would be the Vosteed Grind. What makes it a grind is the grind on this Joker is a 0 grind, like a Scandi grind. They do have a micro bevel one, but this one is a heck of a slicer. Heck of a slicer. Let's see. We have the Vosteed Corsair. I guess that has to do with pirates, I believe. As always, my card handle. Blade steel can be Nitro-V. Blade steel can be 154 cm. There's usually some slight variations in steel and handle material, but there's a lot of the same old. This is that first button lock version I had of the Raccoon. This is what got everything started for me. First knife I got to review from Vosteed, and that kind of set ablaze. I was like, that is a dang nice knife. I got everything started, at least in the Vosteed world. I've been in pocket knives for about 30 years, so but Vosteed has showed me some crazy knives. This one is the Valkyrie. This one has a multicolored Damascus handle. Also front flipper and rear flipper. This one's a modified Tonto. The only thing that makes it kind of Tonto-ish is that transition there. They have an interesting double grind going on there. Really nice. I like this knife. Only thing I don't like about it is how weak the detent is. I accidentally had this open up in my pocket one day, and ooh, so just be careful. That's not this knife in particular. That is kind of button locks in general. They tend to have a weak detent. Same thing with crossbar locks. They're not the same as a frame lock, liner lock, top liner lock. There are some knives that are just going to have an inherently weaker detent for holding the blade closed, just because they're designed to overcome that inertia of you opening the blade, so it can't be held in too tight. So that's part of the problem with that, and it's not a blame of the manufacturer at all. I have another RS Knife Works knife. The name is eluding me on this one. Is it written on it? It's not, of course. 154 cm. It's a Hawks bill blade. I don't remember the name. I called something else a Valkyrie when it wasn't a Valkyrie. But anyways, there's that knife. Has kind of a Joker from Batman look going on for it. I can't remember all the names to all these knives. It's really difficult when you are into knives, and there's a lot to remember for everything. I know we all do the best we can. A knife I received as a Christmas present a couple years back was the Chipmunk, which is funny because you think an acorn would be smaller than the Chipmunk, but there's the Chipmunk. Chipmunk and JG10, also known as Natural G10. It's a fairly small knife. It's almost turned into more of a show and tell, didn't it, guys? Because it's hard to really go over everything. We got 3 more knives I'll share with you guys, and that'll be it. This is that crossbar Raccoon. So as you see, I've got quite a few different Raccoons. It being a popular model, I'm not shy at getting another Raccoon, as wonderful knives as they are. But I like the checkered pattern. I've got another knife in this frag, which I'll show you in just a minute. But I love the frag pattern, especially Marcarita. Love that. Love Mark. Can't talk today. Micarta. That's a really nice knife. Same thing as the aluminum, just different materials. And I'm gonna get the big boy out. He's not fixed blade, but might as well be a fixed blade. That's a big boy. This is the Gator. You know, when you're dealing with a gator in the swamp, Love it, love it, love it. A very large modified sheep's foot. It's a massive, massive handful. Love this knife. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. It didn't come with a thumb. Okay, let me say that over. It came with a thumb stud, but it was more of a space filler, and I opted to put the full thumb stud on. This came in the box, so you can get it with the spacer to fill the hole, so there's no thumb stud, and it is front flipper only, or you can get the thumb stud. I decided I liked both the thumb stud and the front flipper. Just me. All right, lastly is that Valkyrie. Now I'll let you guys go. And the Valkyrie. Valkyrie is also a front flipper button lock that also has a rear flipper too. Nice modified Warncliffe blade. Micarta handle. I'm telling you, I'm in love with Micarta. Love that knife too. Awesome knife. Awesome, awesome knife. So you guys have kind of seen into the world of Vosteed. There's way more than what I have in my little meager collection going on here. There is a hedgehog that's missing somewhere, but we'll find him. We'll track him down. But if you guys have any questions, seriously, if you guys have any questions related to Vosteed knives, quality, anything, please hit me up down below in the comment section so we can talk about this. Thanks, guys.